Hello and welcome back to another edition of Curious Insects, and perhaps after a little gap this time. So that happened because of my engagement in some different things. So I couldn't prepare the video, but nevertheless today I am here in front of you, and we'll proceed further with our story. So previously we discussed that Enoch had traveled to Lamu, that is Mars, and then to different heavens and worlds. And he has written about all those things in a book which we know as a Book of Enoch. Before his final journey to the heavens, final heaven, that is the abode of God, he had handed over that book of Enoch, to his son Matushal, and he had asked him to share this knowledge with his brothers also. This book of Enoch was later considered as an apocrypha by the Hebrew and Christian church and removed from the main biblical text. So this is what we had discussed in our last video. So now let's move forward from here. So this Matushal, he also begot a son, and he named him as Lu-mach. In Bible, this Lu-mach is mentioned as Lamech, and the meaning of Lamech is mighty man, a mighty man. So a powerful person, a powerful man. This was the time around 100,000 years before the present, and at that time Earth was going through a period of chaos. An ice age was setting in, and this is true as per the recent findings also. We know this period as the last glacial period, encompassing the period of 115,000 years to 11,700 years. So this was the period of the last glacial. The conditions of Earth had become harsher, and the food production suffered very badly during those times. Anunnaki appointed Lu-mach or Lamech as the manager of the ration, and he told him that you keep a control on these things, and manage this scarcity wisely. During this time, Adapa, was nearing his death because he was very old by that time. So he, called all his clan, whosoever was present that time on Earth. So he called them, and he wanted to bless them. And he inquired about his son Cain. As you know, Cain, was abandoned from this E.Din, and they had sent him away because he had killed his brother Abel. So he wanted to meet this Adapa wanted to meet his son Cain for the one and the last time. So Sheth, his third son actually. So he told him about his wish, and Sheth then went to Lord Enki and told him about this dying wish of his father. Enki then called Ninurta and asked him to go and search for Cain and bring him back to E.Din, because that was the last wish of Adapa, and Enki wanted to fulfill it. So Ninurta left in the land of wandering, where he had gone, actually this Cain had gone, and he frantically searched for Cain. At the last he located Cain actually, and he brought him back to E.Din. When Adapa came to know that Cain had come, he was very happy, and he called this Cain and Sheth to meet him. By that time Adapa was very old, and he had lost his eyesight also. So he just to know and recognize his sons, he had to touch their face. When he touched the face of Cain, he was in for a shock. He was very disappointed, because Cain's face was as smooth as the face of a female. Because I don't want to repeat the whole thing here again, but you must be aware that why this happened actually. And Adapa then put his hand on the head of Sheth and blessed him by saying that earth will flourish with your seed, and mankind will survive a great calamity by your seed. He then put his hand on the head of Cain and said that due to your sin you have been deprived of many things, but from your seed 7 nations will come forth, and your lion will thrive in the distant lands. Now we will see in one of our forthcoming episodes that how this prophecy of Adapa came true. What were those nations which had come up, 7 nations or like that. So we'll discuss about it. Adapa further said to Cain that you killed your brother Abel, with a stone, and Cain, your end will come up with a stone only. You will die, from a stone only. After that, Adapa called his wife Titi and all his clan, because by that time there were many, children, grandchildren, and great grandchildren on earth. So he called them all, blessed them, and said that once I die, you please bury me in my birthplace facing the sun. And that's what he told Titi, his wife. And after some time, the spirit of Adapa left his body, and a pall of gloom then surrounded the place. As he had requested, his children wrapped his body in a cloth, and they took him to the place as told by Titi, which was the birthplace of Adapa. And there by the side of the river, they buried Adapa facing the sun. Adapa actually was born in the midst of 93rd Shar and died by the end of 108th Shar. So he lived approximately for 15 Shars, that is 54,000 Earth years approximately. As we had discussed, the humans of that time had, very extremely long life periods. But if you will look this thing from the point of view of Anunnaki, these are just 15 years only. So this was the end of an era on Earth, the era of Adapa, the first civilized man born by the crossbreeding between an Anunnaki god and a female earthling. Adapa actually, in a sense, was a demigod. He was not, human per se, actually, 100% human, because he had the, genes of, Niburian and an earthling. So, in a way, he was a demigod. And perhaps this was the reason he had such a long life, because as you know, that these Niburians have had a very long life. So I was just wondering, that what would have happened if Adapa would have eaten the bread and he would have drank that elixir during his visit to Nibiru. Today, we humans would have had a altogether different history. Anyway, that was the destiny of Adapa, which happened like that. So after the burial of Adapa, then this Cain bid farewell to his mother and his brothers, and Ninurta then took him to his place of wandering where he lived actually, in his airship. And Cain then after that had many sons and daughters, in that land. And he built a city for his clan actually in that land. And one day while building that city, a stone fell, and on him, and he died. And this way the prophecy of Adapa came true, because he had told Cain that you will be dead by a stone only. So in an upcoming video, we will discuss in detail about this city built by Cain. This city still exists and is a very prominent place. So the location and all other things now we will discuss separately in our forthcoming video. So this was the end of Adapa and his first two sons, that is Cain and Abel. By this time the earth was flourishing, with the civilized humans who carried the legacy of Adapa further from here. And during those days, a typical hardship on earth were, increasing because of the climate change. As we discussed, that there was a last glacial period that started, and age had started actually on earth. And this there was dust and dryness on earth, and Lamu, that is Mars, was also affected by this thing. So Anunnaki leaders on earth, that is Enki, Enlil and Ninmah, they frantically discussed that how to take care of this natural change, actually how to face this. So they saw that the solar flares they are increasing greatly, and they were affecting the gravity of both Mars. that is Lamu. So the Anunnaki leaders decided to do something for this. So they wanted to study this phenomena. So they placed some instruments, in Abzu, that is the southern Africa of today. And there they put this thing under the charge of Nargal and his wife Arshigil. Nargal, as you know, was a son of Enki. And he had married Arshigil, who was a grand daughter of Enlil and the daughter of Nannar. Nannar was the son of Enlil. And because of this disturbance, this Igigi, those who were present on Lamu, that is Mars, they were also, getting disturbed. And Anunnaki leaders had told Marduk, because Marduk was there by that time, we had discussed in our previous episode that Marduk had gone to ultimately to Lamu to take care of Igigi. So they requested Marduk to hold on actually on these things till the time, this problem gets over. So sitting together and analyzing the current situation, Enki was still, very sad, and he was lamenting the death of Adapa, because Adapa was his son from an earthling female, as you know. So he sadly said that 100 showers have passed since I came to earth, approximately 360,000 years before he had came to earth. And he said that when I came to earth, I was young and I was a dashing prince of Nibru, but now I am an old bearded person. Enlil also interjected. He said that, I was also a very enthusiastic leader when I had came, but now I have got children here, those who were born on earth, and now those children have begot their children. So I have also, grown old now. So he said that, this when we came, we were very young, and now, all of us are very old. So Ninurta also said very sadly that now the people here, actually, these Anunnaki called me old sheep. Because when I came to earth from Nibru, I was a young and beautiful maiden. So that's what they were all discussing. So Enlil then said that many Niburians came and went back to Nibru, taking their turns. But we three are stuck here since the beginning. And I feel that, now is the time that we should also go back to our planet Nibru. We miss it badly. So Enki said that, yes, actually, I also wish for that, and I requested many times, that I want to go back to Nibru. But every time from Nibru, I refused a refusal. I don't know why. So all these three, these siblings, stepbrothers and stepsisters, who kept discussing about these things. And, they said that let us see actually how the things develop, because at the moment, so we have to face this calamity which has developed on earth. And we have to just leave the things in the hand of destiny, because our time will also come, and we will be leaving this, alien planet, and we'll go finally to our planet one day. So all this they kept on discussing. So in our next episode, we will see if the wish of these three siblings, comes true, and whether they get a chance to go back to Nibru. Also, we will discuss about an unexpected crisis which was developing on Earth, and about which the Anunnaki were clueless. They were not aware actually. Even that these leaders were clueless what is going to happen. So please keep watching and keep subscribing and liking the channel, and we'll see you soon in our next episode. Till then, thank you for watching, and goodbye.